Welcome to Afrik-innovscience. Today we have the privilege of speaking with an inspiring individual who is making significant strides in the fields of infectious diseases, immunology, and vaccinology. Join us as we delve into the world of healthcare advocacy and youth empowerment through an engaging and insightful interview. Now, let's begin by allowing our guest to introduce himself and share the remarkable journey that led him to specialize in infectious diseases, immunology, and vaccinology. Good day, Mr. Angyiba Serge. Thank you very much to be with us today. Please, can you present yourself like that for the people who don't know you? Who are you, Mr. Angyiba?
Thank you very much, Mr. Patrice, for this opportunity. It's actually a pleasure. I would like to remind that actually I pleaded for this interview. I actually pleaded because I was so excited when I got your mail, I got your LinkedIn message. So as I always say, my favorite quote, consistency is what you do repeatedly. That's what makes you. So I am Angyiba Serge ANDIGEMA. I'm a Cameroonian by nationality, proud. Okay, and also I'm a researcher, an early career researcher in the field of infectious disease and immunology and a vaccinology enthusiast. I believe I can become the first ever professor in vaccinology from Cameroon. I'm working two presentations. I won't get to get engaged in infectious disease and immunology, and I won't blame them. It's because of the lack of insight and the lack of knowledge, information on what are the prospects in 2030, for example, about the field of infectious disease.
Fascinating. Let's move on to explore our guest advocacy efforts in the realm of career education, especially within the medical and health sectors. How do you advocate for career education, especially in the medical and health sectors? And what strategies do you employ to inspire and guide aspiring professionals?
Okay, thank you very much, Patrice. To add before, to start with, I'm actually in Cameroon, I'm an internally displaced individual. So I almost lost hope on education, but I asked myself one single question. If everybody can make it, what makes me not capable of also making it? And I decided to take upon myself to fight for that education, not only the education of the underprivileged, but the education, especially of the female child. Many ladies out there are ignorant of their potentials, of what they have in them, the store they have in them. So, diving to your question, in the field of career advocacy, I advocate across Bison Scholars, which I am the director of programs presently for this term of mandate, whereby we inspire individuals in 5 different aspects. The first aspect is across scholarship orientation. Scholarship orientation in the field precisely of immunology, infectious disease, bringing to them the information vital for them to actually acknowledge and actually love, develop the passion which we have developed for infectious disease and immunology. Second is actually in the aspect of career orientation. We bring to them individuals who have succeeded in those fields, making them believe that they can also do it. For example, I, for one, I haven't yet attended that objective, but I'm working together with those who are in the field, putting the footsteps, and I'm lining along with Africa CDC's goal of 2060. 1% of the vaccines produced in the world come from Africa. We are 1% of the vaccines produced in Africa actually come from Africa. So we ask ourselves, who are those who complete the 99% of the vaccines? We are the ones. Along with Africa CDC's dream, they estimate by 2060, 60% of Africans have to be specialized in the field of vaccinology, and we need to get to that goal. Thirdly, we advocate in the aspect of research. We are actually building the foundation of great researchers in Cameroon. We need it because when we look at our fellow countries, we realize the youth have the potential and they publish. They don't joke with the aspect of research, but in Cameroon, we are ignorant. So in the aspect of orientation, SDG4 is my principal motive, Patrick. We actually fight for that across Bison Scholars.
Excellent insights. Let's now shift our focus to the leadership roles our guest has held and the impact on fostering youth development. Being a part of organizations like Youth Health Action Network, how do you believe such leadership roles contribute to youth empowerment and community development, particularly in the context of health and research?
Okay. I would like to precise that Youth Health Action Network is a Nigerian originated organization. And actually, I appealed to become an ambassador for Johan Africa, as it is called, in Cameroon. Johan has empowered more than 500 youth. I present the statistical figures in the aspect of health. That is, we mold those who are non even of the health sector and those who are of the health sector to produce a synergy, because the leading generation of tomorrow will actually rely on each and everyone. Everybody has a role to play in ameliorating the health status of each and every country found out there. So my aspect of Johan, where I serve as a country director of Cameroon, we have actually carried on projects. And for example, currently we are carrying out breast campaign, which is our theme for this year's title, My Breast, My Health. That means we are bringing to the ladies to acknowledge the fact that it is their breast and it is their health, telling them the importance of taking care of themselves. We go down to the youth, the girls, to inform them that they have to carry out daily checkups on themselves by themselves before thinking of the hospital, because they can be the people to detect the primary stages of be it cancer or tumors before in the hospital we can actually carry a proper diagnosis. So in the aspect of Johan, alongside too with Only Health Magazine, where I serve as a regional director, where we help youth orientate them in the aspect of research and publications.
Great perspective. Collaboration is key, and our guest has had experience both locally and internationally with Nigeria, for example. Let's discuss the role of international collaboration in advancing healthcare in Africa. You have had experience working both in Cameroon and internationally. How do you see collaboration with international organizations contributing to advancements in healthcare and medical research in Africa?
Okay, thank you very much for the question. The advancement of international collaborations, I actually think collaboration is the key even to achieving every sustainable development goals. For example, I'll take for example, in the Africa CDC's role, in the Africa CDC's vision of 2060, they believe there should be a communicable platform whereby all African nations should be able to share their diagnosis perspectives of each nation, of each country, to be able to produce a synergy. Take, for example, if in Cameroon I discover a certain case, for example, of a pathology, which has actually been treated in Kenya, and I'm able to discuss with the medical practitioner in Kenya to be able to give me his own insight, I think the diagnosis or even the treatment will be faster. That is why we have had difficulties in dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic, for example, because there was no communicable platform. And we believe across youth like you and I, we can be able, we are the future, to actually bring it to place, to actually provide that international collaboration. It is very necessary for every youth in every country or nation to be in touch with another person or even a group of youth. For example, we can see what IFAMSA is doing, the International Federation of Medical Students. They bring together all nations, all countries, all continents to actually discuss across a perfect and suitable platform to have the mindset of each and everyone. I think if we do that for all fields, all aspects, I think Africa will not be what it is today. We will be looked upon as a reference.
Collaboration indeed brings solutions to challenges. Speaking of challenges, let's delve into the obstacles the healthcare and education sectors face in Africa and how technology can offer solutions. In your opinion, what are the major challenges facing the healthcare and education sectors in Africa, and how can technology and innovation address these challenges?
Okay, I will take first of all the aspect of Cameroon before going to Africa, if you may permit me, Patrick. Okay, in Cameroon, for example, I would say broadly, technology is still at its 20%. We actually enthusiasts of technology, but what lacks is the approbation of youth to be able to implement what they have. For example, we have so many youth startups tech startups in Cameroon. But where is the finances? Where is the support from both governmental and even local? We don't have that support. Youth don't have that support. For example, when I look at other African continents, we see the role the governments play in bringing up, in molding up. I'll take, for example, the Cameroon Digital Week, which took place last week. Can you imagine the Cameroon Digital Week? We couldn't see one youth on the platform to discuss the future of Cameroon, the future of Cameroon in the digital aspect. There is a problem somewhere. There is a question mark somewhere. What is the role of youth? I don't agree with the statement that youth are the future of tomorrow. No, we are what we today. It is today. We need our space today to be able to create the tomorrow. So I think in the aspect of Africa in general now, artificial intelligence is being mishandled by Africans. For example, in the field of research, we see youth who publish with artificial intelligence. That is not what it was meant for. Artificial intelligence was meant to actually facilitate the task and actually accelerate the growth of Africa to become something better. But we are instead taking it in the other side. So I think from my own perspective, if Africans were actually molded on the aspect of development, that is the inside, the way I can put it in quotes, the Europeans see or foresee development using technology, I think it would be wonderful. How many bioinformaticians do we count in Africa, working in Africa? There is a question mark somewhere. So I think there is something to be done. We should create Harvard in Cameroon or in Africa, so that Africa should not go to Harvard in Europe. We can stay here and build our own country. I think that is my own perspective about technology in Africa.
Yeah, innovation is vital for progress. Our guest has experience in research and biology. Let's discuss how he encourages and promotes scientific research, especially among young researchers and students. As a research assistant and biologist, how do you encourage and promote scientific research, especially among young researchers and students?
Okay, as a scientific researcher, as an early career researcher, I would love to precise that because there are more experts out there. Early career researcher and research assistant biologist. I actually serve as a research assistant in various private schools, which actually train medical laboratory technologists. In the aspect of training youth, we actually carry out seminars and workshops, especially because it's very vital to actually mold the youth, not only about what is research, but how to carry out proper research. I precise on that proper research because we see in Cameroon, for example, I can say that some of the research carried out by early career scientists is actually mediocre. I can actually say that with what I have seen, because we don't actually know the importance or even the greatness found behind research. For example, you just don't know in Cameroon that you grow in the scientific field. It is across publications and research work. So what do we do or what do I do in my own individual space? I carry out seminars, I carry out workshops. Yesterday, the 21st of October in 2023, Biology scholars carried out a workshop in Chang, the West Region, the Faculty of Medicine, where we trained close to 30 plus youth to actually how to use the referencing system. What is bibliographical research? That is, how do we use past research records to actually produce a research protocol? And thirdly, and most importantly, we taught them about publication journals, how to identify different type of journal and what is suitable, impact factors and all the like. So I was actually a virtual speaker at that event. So it was a wonderful event whereby we shared our insights, telling you with using our testimonies what research work has brought to us as early career scientists. In my little space as a biologist, I bring in so many students as interns to actually participate in the laboratory to gain acquaintance with proper research. I use that word, proper research. How to use research materials, how to even carry out research. For example, in my master's thesis, I actually carried out a research whereby I looked at a co-infection, HIV and COVID. So I brought in so many youths to share insights to produce a PhD proposal, which I hopefully gain PhD and actually continue my career.
Wonderful, wonderful. What you're doing is wonderful. All the best for the future. Incredible insights. Now, as we conclude this enriching conversation, let's hear some final thoughts and advice from our guest. for aspiring professionals in the medical and research fields. Please, do you have anything to say for us to conclude?
Thank you very much, Patrick, the host for this event. I'm so excited. You can see I'm smiling from beginning to end, from joy to joy. So I'm so happy. What I would like to tell the early youth like me is that believe in your dreams, never give up, no matter the obstacles. Obstacles will come and go, but just know it's just for a little while. Why giving up? Why while moving? Look for all possibilities to actually equip yourself in such a way that the future will not be a surprise for you. Get ready. Get ready for the future, because the future will be for those who have the armor, the bow, and the arrow to actually shoot straight to the target. For example, if you think you can become the first professor, that is before me actually, in vaccinology, trust me, you need to get ready. Get ready as much as possible. Get the courses for yourself. Build yourself. Become bold enough. Participate, especially in insightful interviews like this. Trust me, because from here you gain more visibility. You actually share your desires, and who never knows who can fall on your video, who can fall on your insights, and actually propel your vision. So for youth out there, please stay strong. The pathway is difficult. It's tough. Let no one lie you. It's very tough to become what you want. But if you believe fervently in your dreams, then nothing will stop you.
Thank you very much, Mr. ANDIGEMA, for your words. We stay connected for the future. Maybe you are going to organize a webinar or a conference on Afrik-innovscience. We stay connected. Thank you again for your time.
Thank you so much, Patrice. Thank you so much.
A heartfelt thank you to our guest for sharing his invaluable insights and experiences. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated with more enriching conversations promoting science, technology, engineering, and mathematics in Africa. Until next time, stay curious and keep innovating. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Patrice.